Hey everybody, just want to start this off by saying everybody can leave their negative comments off this. I'm just here to shed some positivity on my newsfeed today because all I ever see is negativity based on addiction. This subject's really touchy for a lot of people, and it's kind of tough that it's touchy because this is a problem in our country. And, I was a victim of it, and, a lot of people say addiction is not a disease, and, as addicts, that's heartbreaking because it's like something you lived, it's something you went through. You didn't choose that life. I didn't grow up when I was little saying I'm going to be a junkie when I'm older. I want to be addicted to heroin. I didn't say that when I was little. You know what I mean? I grew up wanting to be a princess or a doctor, or I actually wanted to be a veterinarian, But somewhere along the lines, a crisis came out, and even as a little girl, though, I did everything addictively. I ate Cheetos addictively. I watched TV addictively. I started smoking cigarettes really early. Started smoking weed really early. I drank at 14. I was always out and about, And, I had an amazing mother. I had an amazing mother that you could have open dialogue with. She was your best friend, And that was good, but it was bad because I was allowed to do whatever I wanted, get myself into situations that I probably shouldn't have been in. And I could always come home to my mom and talk about everything. And that was always great. But it's like one of those situations, like, how far is too far? Like, when you can talk about things. Like, and can you talk about things that you don't even know? You know what I mean? Like addiction. Like, my parents would have never thought that I was going to turn into that. So it's not about your family and all of that. It's like you can talk about it. But back then, it wasn't, if drugs are bad. You know what I mean? Like, don't do drugs. Like, it's not good. You know what I mean? Like, but nobody even looked at the drug addict as like anybody else. They looked at the drug addict as that homeless person on the side of the road in torn clothes holding a sign. So I always was like, oh, I'll never be that. You know what I mean? You just think like drugs leads that. You don't think like drugs is anything else. Where now, it's like, if I would have known what I know today, back then, things would have been so different. And that's why I shed so much positivity and why I try to like always like talk about it, because like, what about that one kid that's reading that and thinks drugs are cool, or thinks that addiction is something that's normal, or could have been, or somebody does get addicted and you could have done something to prevented that. So it's like, yeah, I speak up because it's like, what if I don't speak up? Or like when somebody posts this addiction is not a disease, like cancer is a disease, da-da-da-da-da. Okay, I understand that. But the thing is everybody wants to look on the negative side of disease. You know what I mean? The cure of it. Like, okay, let's not give them Narcan. Let's let them die. Okay, yeah, awesome. Yeah, that's on the fucking morbid side of the spectrum. But could we lean more to the other side of the spectrum where it's like, let's give them compassion. Let's try to understand these people. Let's help these people. Maybe they're good people. But no, it's always got to be negative. Like, the junkies must die. You know what I mean? And like, okay, yeah, whatever. Let them all die. You can do whatever you want. Let them all die. Don't give us Narcan. Whatever. It's okay. But when you still have a raging drug pandemic on your hands, don't say we didn't tell you so. It's letting people die is just going to make more people upset and make more people die. That's not going to change the fact that there's drugs still here. We're not talking to our children, and they're still going to use drugs. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, get rid of this generation. What about the next one? If we don't do anything about it, nothing will change. You can't just kill off everybody that's already an addict and expect things to change. There's always going to be drug dealers and addicts. There's always going to be that. And unless we get to the root of the problem, nothing will change. And, you can think you can kill the problem, you think you can lock the problem up, but the thing is you have to understand that this is a mental and physical disease. This isn't just, okay, you feel like shit, or your mind's off. Like, this is both at one time, and you have to understand, with long-term drug use, your brain is not a normal brain. The decisions you make aren't normal decisions. Anything isn't normal. And that's like how I feel today. Like, everything I ever did isn't me, And for people to say the things I did was my choice, that's really hard to take, because how can, I would never do those things. And that tells you right there that the drugs force you to do certain things. And that your mind is so miswired because of the drugs that you are incapable of making choices, point blank. Nothing an addict does is their choice. They're a victim of their disease. Yes, like I said, let's get technical. The first one is a choice when you're in high school and you think you're cool. Or, you get an injury and a doctor gives you opiates. and you love the feeling. Yes, and you can say we're also weak-minded, but I'm going to tell you, most addicts are the most fucking strong-willed people that I know. The best people I know are addicts. And, you know, I'm just trying to say that we need to stop with all the negativity. You can think it's not a disease all you want, but unless we do something about this, there's always going to be a problem. And to the addict out there right now that sees all this negativity on their newsfeed every day, know that I believe in you. Know that I've been through this, and know that if you need anyone to talk to, I'm here, because out of everybody in this world, I get it. I am you. Thank you.